So introduce yourself. You are?
My name is Joseph. I work for Goodwill.
All right. So tell me a little bit about, if you don't mind, about your background that led you up to gaining a felony criminal background.
Well, of course, I basically came from a dysfunctional family. No excuse. I've always was taught, that hard work and perseverance pays off. So, in knowing such, being raised in Richmond, Virginia, South Side in particular,
It's not a very good neighborhood, is it?
no, it's a city by itself within Richmond, and
Mm-hmm.
crime rate always been high.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Plenty of deaths, but however, I was unfortunately raised up in that type of environment, and um, to where it was sort of like a dog eat dog, get yours, I'm gonna get mine
Mm-hmm.
type of environment, and being raised in such, I grew um, to have that type of mentality to which um, I got it by any means necessary, and if that meant robbing another drug dealer who had it, then that's what I had to do
Mm-hmm.
to put food in my kid's mouth. So, and that took a turn for the worse. It wasn't a good idea, and I paid for it. I was given 18 years for 2 counts of robbery, and I did the time.
How old were you when you were incarcerated?
30. I started off at 30 and got out at 47, 48. Can't install
It's
update.
still okay. It's still. So can you tell me a little bit about the mentality of being incarcerated? I know that being an employment specialist, a lot of the gentlemen and ladies that I work with, when they come in here looking for employment, they have a certain mentality that's almost like we call the incarceration mentality.
Hmm.
Can you tell me a little bit about how you gain that mentality and why you gain that mentality when you're incarcerated?
Well, because is you put in a do or die situation type of lifestyle to whereas you can't trust nobody. There's nobody to lean on. If you don't if you're fortunate to have your family there, that's a plus to help you through the stretch. Me, I had family, one or two that was there with me throughout the whole bid, but you got a lot of time. Your family and friends and associates have the tendency to shy away. Um, so you're really left on your own to survive the best way you can. Going in penitentiary at a young age, when you're young, you're the new person on the block. Everybody wants to know who you are. There's there's things there's the pros and the cons of being incarcerated. If you're young, you really have to do your homework. But basically, you can't trust nobody. It's
Hmm.
a do or die situation.
It's kind
You
of like a
want
fend for yourself type
right,
of
right,
situation.
right. Now, if you from a major city like Richmond, Virginia, Tidewater, um, Arlington, Virginia, you run with the with the with the people that's from your city,
Right.
and you kind of like stick to that particular group.
So in other words,
And
you have like your own little communities
right,
within the
right,
prison
right,
walls.
right,
Right.
right. That'll get you through too. But sometimes you get caught up in that, and before you know it, you cold red because they're gonna think you a gang member.
Right.
So that.
How my question so my thing is how did my question is how I know a lot of gentlemen when they've come in here they've had the mentality, they have the bobbing of the head, and they don't want to dress, they don't want to conform to society
Right.
When they are released from incarceration, which makes it very difficult to be able to place them in a job.
Right.
Because you know yourself, since you've been working here at Goodwill, you have to conform to society a little bit,
Right.
to be able to be, for people to take you seriously and to consider you for a job opening. How do you, what advice would you have coming out of incarceration and not having that mentality to other folks? Because I know when I first met you, you didn't have that. You could tell that before you were incarcerated, you had a sense of values and morals of what you were looking for. You just took the wrong road
Right.
before you got out there.
You read that right. Exactly. Yeah. Being upon release, there's anxiety that sets in, and it has you feeling like everybody's against you. You got this strike on you. That's called a felony. You can't get a job. It's frustrating. Rather not you have kids, you have to come out and provide for them. Everybody that you knew when you was in, now that you're out, they're pulling at you. Everybody wants something from you if it's just nothing but time. And then basically it's just hard. You have a lot of hurdles to get over. You need transportation, you need food to eat, place to stay, and a job. And these things are hard to come by. But there's resources out there. You just got to know when to find them. And
how long did it take you to find a job? How long did it take you, should I say, to find help, that you started looking for a job on your own and couldn't find one after you were incarcerated?
Well, from day one, I started looking for a job with no luck. I knew that there was the fast food restaurants. I put that last. When there's nothing else left, I'm gonna go to a fast food restaurant, and that's what happened. I exhausted all my remedies as far as looking for a job, and fast food was there. So I worked at McDonald's until something better came through. Because you basically got to be patient.
How long were you looking?
I was looking for quite a while, for about a month and a half. Going to temp agencies. You got to be clean because they're gonna piss you, and things of that nature. But it's a task in itself. But it can be done. You can do it.
Did you get turned down for any of your jobs because of your felony?
Yeah, once or twice.
Okay.
Once or twice. I remember I went to Cookout and I just put it all on the table. It was an interview for the Cookout restaurant and put it all out there, man. Only to not get that call because you come in for another interview, the second interview, so we can get you the job. I didn't get it, but thank God for Goodwill.
I was going to say, how has your outlook changed since you found full-time employment with an employer that does give second chances?
My outlook has changed a great deal. I've managed to buy a car. I have a place to stay now. I got a little money in the bank. I'm able to do things for my daughter, my son. It feels good, to have that sense of stability and order. But it's hard. It's a hard job. But you can do it. I think most importantly, first I should have said earlier, but you got to put God first. If you had that in you, that helps is just as much.
I know you have trouble, like everyone does, asking for help. Okay, and I know you and I talked about that when we first met. But how has asking for assistance in locating employment helped you And would you be willing to tell others asking for help that it does not show a sign of weakness when you ask for help, but it shows that you are on the right path?
Right. That's right. It does. Everybody needs help. You're gonna need. I don't care who you are. You're gonna need somebody at one time or another. In my case, I needed a lot of people and a lot of things. I'm coming from out of penitentiary after serving 17 years and 10 months. But you know, as I said before, Goodwill was there. The reentry, the reentry. Wow, I can't say enough about that. They helped me a great deal, and I was able to get on my feet. But you do need some help,
Mm-hmm.
and to know those resources where you can go and get that help helps a lot. There's programs out there for pretty much anything that you need. You just got to know where to go and network.
How do you think, in my experience of doing the reentry program here for Goodwill, I have come across quite a few gentlemen that have told me that they didn't want to go out here and work. They didn't want to work a full-time job and work an honest day for an honest day pay. They would rather go back out here on the streets and sell drugs again, or, rob people like they used to gain money, because to them that was easier than working a full-time job and earning an honest day pay, which really causes the recidivism rate to go up.
Yeah.
Here in Lynchburg, we do pride ourselves that our recidivism rate is very low, and of keeping people working. What advice would you have to people like that would choose to live in an 8x8 cell than to have freedom?
I would say that's not a good choice because you basically just giving up. You just saying forget it. I'm not going to get nowhere in life. I'm always going to be down. Um, yeah, you just giving your life away to come out of penitentiary for selling drugs and then get back in society and sell drugs again. That's just I, I don't understand it. But for you to do that, you just basically saying I give up. I'm not going to make it.
Well, I know you have a lot of people out here who try and try and try so hard to find a job. I mean, you have people out here that are looking for a job for months to a year, 2 years sometimes on a time with a criminal background, and they're constantly getting turned down. And I know that it's frustrating, but you know, coming from you, that hopefully that they would realize that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. That if they would ask for assistance, they may not find the job that they want, making the money they want, but it takes time to work themselves back up and get into the working environment.
Yeah, it takes time. You got to be patient, and you got to have that ambition, and you just got to go out there and get it. Throw yourself off the bridge, and jump into to that next level. It's hard, but it can be done. I'm a living testimony.
Well, I've always looked at it this way, and I hope that, and I think you would agree, that anything easy in life sometimes is not worth it.
That's right. That's right. It's not
what's worth it out there is when you have to work hard to gain it.
Yeah.
Because then that means you truly earned it.
That's right.
So, well, I appreciate it because you are definitely a testimony. You've been with us now almost, how long have you been with us now?
A little over 9.
A little over 9 months. I was supposed to say 9 months. And you've actually moved up into several positions. You've moved up in pay. You went from part-time into full-time.
That's correct.
And so, that person you were before you came here 9 months ago, I think that person is long gone. I don't think that person would ever want to creep back up and come back into play. Do you?
Nah. That person is
gone.
Yeah, he's gone.
Good.
The new Joseph is back.
Well, I appreciate it, and thank you so much. And
thank you.
Is there anything else? Any final words, or?
Put God first, and you can go far.
All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate it.